Recording in
being
progress. It
recorded.
tells you now. Yeah, the little woman tells you now. There's a woman's voice that says recording in progress.
Yes.
Okay, remember, if you're asking someone to do something for you, it would be, could you give me
Would you give me
permission?
permission? Yes, yes.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter so much for me because I already know you. But yes, if you wanted to be polite to someone, that would be
Yes,
a
yes.
good idea.
But
I know you're not being
this is
rude.
for okay. This is for maybe the stranger, or if we already
It's
friend, we still need to follow this. Or
yeah. In English, politeness is really important. So,
uh,
like, I would even say that to my husband. Oh, could you just do this, please? Or would you mind?
oh,
Would you
always
mind?
need to follow.
Yeah. Um, I just asked him, would he mind switching the swimming pool filter off for me? Because I put the filter on, but yeah, I was still in my bikini about 10 minutes ago, so I needed to put some clothes on. So I asked him if he would mind doing that so that I could
Would you
get my ready. Yeah,
give me the permission?
but would you mind? After would you mind? It's verb plus ing. Would you mind, for
Would you mind?
example, would you mind giving me
Would you mind
permission?
plus ing form is it?
Yeah, that's
Plus
right.
ing.
So would you mind giving me permission to record, please? For example, if we took your question, yeah?
Yes, yes. Would you mind give right only present tense?
Giving,
Oh,
only verb plus
giving.
ing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Okay. Yeah.
So that's a they're both really good phrases. And yes, it is really important in English to be as polite as possible all the while. It doesn't matter if you know someone. Let me just put this on. Whew. It's been lovely and hot. Is it nice and hot in Singapore?
Yes, today hot. I think hot weather. I never go out. I stay home only.
Oh, is that because it's too hot?
No, 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 no. Because the COVID COVID-19.
Oh, because of COVID-19, there's nothing much to do.
Now
Okay.
again, I think the second wave again arise there. Rise and
Ah, you think well, it's getting bad again.
yes, yes, yes.
I know it's getting bad again in Taiwan. Here it's touch wood, it's got better, so everything's open, which is nice. um, what I did want to ask you is, do you want to look at, you told me about three things. Do you want to look at present perfect, or do you want to look at questions, or do you want to look at pronunciation first?
I think we do the present perfect tense questions. If you have the lesson, we can start the present
Yeah.
perfect questions. Because
Yes, I do.
sometimes people asking how have you been. If they ask been, I never much practice about the present perfect questions and the present perfect continuous questions. Sometimes
Okay, now,
suddenly I can't understand. What have you been?
right, no
How have you
problem.
been? But how are you? Same thing is it. How have you been is similar to how are you? How have you been?
Sort of, yeah, sort of. Big, now what I want to do is, hang on, where's present perfect? I'm just trying to have a look at how to form, that must be the same. I have got them all open, it's just that that's the present perfect continuous. Where's the present perfect simple, or is it there as well? That's the present perfect continuous. Where's the present perfect simple? Uh, present perfect questions. Okay, I'll open that. Right, we've got present perfect questions. Oh, this is the exercise. Yeah, I've got the exercises already. Where's the other one gone? Right, what have we got here? This is present perfect, all the present perfect exercise. That's the present perfect simple. Does it tell you about the questions on here? I suppose you really need to know this first. I think present perfect simple and present perfect continuous, that would probably be better. Let me just open the link for that. What's the difference? Yeah, that's probably better. Present perfect continuous tense.
I want to know the present perfect question first. Present perfect
Yeah,
questions. After we complete, then today maybe we do pronunciation. Maybe next time
yeah,
we
I've
do
got
the
some.
present perfect continuous question.
Right, well, the first thing, okay, so that's present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. They're the exercises, they're the question forms for them. And because you're going to need to know what's the difference, you see.
Also can, what is the difference also can?
Yeah, so that's the difference here. I think we should start here, but does it show
Yes,
you
yes,
the
yes.
difference with questions?
Mhm.
Right. Okay. So what I'll do is we'll do that first. So what's that for? That's the present perfect continuous. I want to give you, that's the present perfect simple. Right. What I'll do then is I need to start with the present perfect simple. So let's start with that one. I'm going to put it each time into the Skype like I normally do. I'm going to put it into your notes here. Did present perfect questions. So let's start with that one. Now, I also need to tell you before we start that if I'm looking at my calendar, there's no lesson next week and there's no lesson the week after because I'm on holiday. Yay!
Oh, that means when is the next class?
I'm just having a look on my calendar. It's exactly what, so I can write it in.
Okay.
So this is today, not next week, not the week after. It's because the week after is my mother-in-law's birthday. So it's Sunday the 13th. I'll write it into Skype. 13th of June. Next lesson. Okay.
13 June, huh? 13 June.
Yes. Yes. And I'll also write it in here. 13th June. Next lesson. There you go. Just so I don't forget. Sunday like that. Right, let me share the screen. And I'll share, where's this one? Oh, hang on a second. Where's my, there it is. So I wanted to start with not the continuous, that one. Right. Using the present perfect tense in English. So if we've got here, this is a present perfect simple. What I want to do is basically look at this one, then look at the present perfect continuous, and then look at what's the difference. So if we look at the present perfect simple, basically we've got a nice little poster here. Yeah. Present perfect simple we use to talk
This
about
one,
these.
what is the website? This website.
I've put it into Skype.
Okay.
This is perfect English grammar. I use this a
Oh,
lot.
perfect English.
So basically, with present perfect simple, we make it with, let me put this into the chat. Where's my chat window? There it is. So present perfect simple, we use with, we make it with have or has, depending if it's he, she, or it or not. and the third form of the verb. So that past participle form. Okay, so that's how we make it, like has seen, have been. We use it for things that start in the past up to now. So actions start in the past up to now. Not like past simple, which starts and ends in the past. They start in the past and up to now. We often use since or for, or we ask questions or answer questions about how long. So for example, how long
But when we cannot use the word when, is it the question? Present perfect.
yes, you can. So you could ask if you've asking how long. Let's start with how long. How long have you lived in Singapore? I have lived in Singapore for 3 years, for example.
How long have you been lived, is it?
No.
How long?
How long have you lived in?
How long have you lived? Okay, how long? The sentence this way can writing. How long have you been? Sometimes I see how long
Yes, but that's
have been and past participle. Is it, this is passive voice or?
yes, it might be. Usually if you're just talking between the past, the present perfect simple and present perfect continuous, usually we use been with the continuous.
Been with the continuous.
So how long have you lived in Singapore? Is an action that started in the past and it goes up to now. Or we could say, why have
so the been when we use been for continuous only, is it present perfect tense? We use been, but we no need to use any other verb, is it? When we use
but
how
we
long
can
have you
use
been?
we can use been, but not in the sense you're using it. Let me show you. So for example, we can use a question word in front, like how long or why have you lived
in Singapore? Yes.
Or we can use it without a question word. Have you ever, when we're talking about life
Have you ever
experience?
been to Singapore?
Yes, now we can use been there. Yeah. Now here we're using it for life experience. Life experience
to Singapore, life experience.
to now. So we often talk when we're asking about someone
So
of their
here the
life
been
experience.
become here the verb, is it? The been we
Been
use been is a verb.
Yeah, it's just the verb in the third
So
form.
okay,
So if I say,
my question, if when you use the been, we no need to use any another past participle, is it? Any other verb?
no, because the answer might be, I have been to Singapore. Yeah, so it's always have plus the third form of the verb. And in this case, been happens to be the third form of the verb to be. Yeah, so the question is, have you been or have you ever?
Have you ever been?
We
Yes.
quite often ask. Yeah. Now, you can also use, I'm just having a look, you also use it for finished actions. Yeah. So I have lost my keys, for example. That wouldn't be a question. The question would be, have you lost your keys? And this is a result, and it's also recent. So we can use,
You lost your keys.
we can also use questions with yet. Yeah. Like, have you finished your work yet? Again, this is a finished action, a completed action.
You finished
Yeah.
your work yet.
And we use it with yet because yet in the question means we expect you to finish soon. Yeah.
Yet we expect you to finish. We expect you to.
So we can also use these words.
Have you finished your work yet? Yet. So this is answer. Yet we expect you to finish soon.
Oh, no, that's not the answer. That's why you're,
That is
yeah.
not answer, is it?
No, that's just the explanation.
Yes, yes.
You can use all these words, just, yet, already, and recently. So if I ask the question, have
Maybe
you finished your...
the same person asked the question and the answer also. Have you finished your work yet? Yet we expect you to finish soon. Maybe the both say
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. You could say, I have already finished my work. Already is used for positive, or I haven't finished yet, because yet is used for negatives.
I have already finished my work. I have already finished. I haven't finished yet.
So when we look at when we use it again,
Okay,
if I just go to...
the question they asking present perfect. We need to answer also must present perfect, or we can use any other tense.
Now, normally we use, let's just get rid of that. Normally we use present perfect. So for example, if I go back down here, if you say, have you finished? I haven't finished yet. But if you say something like, have you seen John today? Right?
Yeah.
So you're asking from the morning up to now. That's what your question is about. So you're asking a question of an action that starts in the past up to now. Your answer might be the answer might be past simple. So for example, it might be, I saw him this morning. Yeah, because the morning has already gone. Or you might say, I haven't seen...
I saw him this morning. So this is the past simple, right?
Because the morning's been and gone. Or you could say, I haven't seen him yet, because up to now from the morning, no John. So if you did see him at a point in the past, you would use past simple. If you didn't see him up to now, you need to use a tense that means up to now, which is present perfect. The other question you were asking was been and gone. Yeah. So you would say maybe like, have you been to Singapore? You might also say, where is John? Has he gone on holiday? So we might use gone because we use gone to talk about or ask about a question about where someone is, if they're still there.
Where is John? Has he gone on holiday?
So
I
gone...
think I heard something, the present perfect question. Maybe we can't use when, or maybe we can't use when, right?
Yes, you can use all of them.
All of them can use.
Yeah. You
When
could say...
he has gone.
Yeah. When has he gone on holiday? Why has he gone on holiday? Where has he gone on holiday? Who has he gone on holiday with? Yeah. If we look at...
I think the time, we cannot use any time frame, is it? Present perfect. It's not, don't have any time frame.
The time frame, yeah, because the time frame is always up to now. If you use a time frame like it said something here, like yesterday. Yesterday has already gone, so we need to use past simple. That's why I saw him this morning. The answer is past simple because the time's already gone. Yeah. If we look at present perfect, right, where's my present perfect questions? For example, here, have you read War and Peace? We're just asking a yes or no question here because we have no question word. How could you make a present perfect question?
The read past participle also read or read?
Read.
Read. We need to pronounce
Been,
read. The spelling is
yeah.
changed. We need to pronounce read.
Yeah, it's read, read, read. It's an irregular verb, unfortunately. Yeah, exactly. So how could you make a present perfect question with this one?
She, okay, the one is what? Have you read the one? This one is, she be late for a meeting.
She.
Has she?
So let's have a look. That's
Has
right.
she? Has
Been,
she?
because we would have to use been because been is the third form of the verb
So the
be.
late is not verb, is it? Late is a verb.
No,
Late is a
late and
noun.
early. No, late and early is an adjective
Or
because
late is
they
adjective.
describe. I am late.
So
Yeah,
has she
describes.
been late for a meeting? Has she been?
Okay, let's try this question. Number 3.
He meet your family yet? He meet your family yet? Have he met your family yet?
Close, but it's
Him.
not have he. What do you use with he?
Oh yes. Has he? Has he? Yes.
That's right.
Has
No,
he? Has
that's
he
okay.
met? Yeah.
Okay, what about number 4?
Number 4, they live here as long as we have. They live here as long as we have. Have they lived here? Have they lived here as long as we have?
Yeah.
Have
So
they
all
lived here?
these, like you've got yet, all these means up to now. Have you read War and Peace? I'm asking you about your life up to now. Has she been late for a meeting? I'm asking about her life up to now. Has he met your family yet up to now? All of these are questions about either your life or experiences or actions that start in the past up to now. What about number 5?
Number 5, have you gone to Australia?
You can't ask me that if I've gone to Australia because I would be in Australia.
You go to
Remember,
Australia. Okay.
you can say, have you gone to Australia if I'm on the phone? If I'm in front of you, you would have to say, have you been to Australia?
Or in front, we talk in front, we say, have you been to Australia?
Yeah,
But in the
because
telephone, we ask, have you gone to Australia?
are you there because you want to know if they're there now?
Yes.
Yeah. Gone means they are there now. Been we use with like ever in your life. So, have you been to Australia ever?
Yes.
If you can't see the person, if they're because otherwise, if you were talking to me, you'd know I'm in Singapore. Yeah. So you can't say, have you gone to Australia? Because it's obvious I'm in Singapore. Yeah.
Yes.
What about number 6?
Number 6, she missed the ball. She missed the bus. Has she missed the bus?
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I knew she might be late. Has she missed the bus? Yeah.
Okay, number 7, right? I met you before. Have I have I met you before?
Yeah, because this is asking about in your life and in their life, have they met before? Actually, I tell you what I haven't done. Let's put this in too. I haven't given you this website. Let me put this
Have I
website
met you
in here.
before? Mhm.
So you're asking about life here. Okay. Now, this one, where was it? Up to now, you're asking if a result has happened.
Have they taken the exam? Is it?
Yes,
Have
that's
they
right.
taken the exam?
And again, you're asking about if a result, if something's finished or completed up to now. Yeah. That's quite often why we use the question, have
Have
you
they taken the
completed your
exam?
work?
Have they taken
Have
the
you taken the exam? Yeah.
Mhm.
What about number 9?
She worked in this company for 15 years. Has she worked in this company for 15 years? Has she
Right.
worked?
Now, all of these that start with has or have, remember,
Yes.
are questions that you expect someone to answer yes or no. All the next lot of questions we're looking at are all with question words, which is what you were asking about. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. What do you think number 11 would be?
Number 11. Where you be? Okay, where you be? Where you be? Where have you? Where have you been?
Yeah.
Where have you been?
I was waiting for you. Where have you been up to now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
What about number 12?
Number 12. How much coffee you drink today? How much coffee you drink today? How much coffee have you drunk today?
Yeah, exactly. How much coffee have you drunk today? Can you answer that?
I didn't I haven't drink coffee. I only drink I drank tea.
Yes, right. So you would say, I haven't,
Drunk. We need to say drunk,
right.
is it? I haven't drunk coffee.
Drink, drank, drunk. I haven't
Drunk.
drunk
I haven't drunk
any
coffee.
coffee.
I have drunk
No,
tea.
I drunk, I
I've
drank,
I've
oh,
drunk.
sorry, drank some tea because I haven't drunk any coffee up to now, but the day isn't over. You could still drink some coffee. But you did drink some tea at a point in the past today. So we have to use past simple because you drank some tea in the past and the action is finished. Yeah.
Yes. If I say I drink coffee means I have drunk 1 cup of coffee, is it?
You might say, yeah, I have drunk 1 cup of coffee
Coffee.
today.
Because I haven't drunk any coffee, so that's why we need to use the past. Yes, present perfect.
Yeah.
Then we need to use past. I drank some tea.
If you did the action in the past and it's finished, if you're still doing it now, you might say, oh, look, I'm drinking some tea, for example. Yeah. What about, and this is quite good, what about number 13?
Number 13. What you do today? What have you done today?
And we're asking about your actions up to now. So what have you done today?
Today I have taken rest.
I don't blame you. Okay, so this is how long, and present
How
perfect
long?
simple is quite often with how long or usually how many. And you'll see we have a lot of how many or how much.
Yes,
So
yes.
present perfect.
How long has he How long has he worked here? Is it?
Yes, that's right.
How long has he worked here?
What do you think number 15 is?
Why dash you bring that? Why have you brought that?
Yeah, exactly. You
How
picked it
many
up.
how many
Mhm.
times you visit Scotland? How many times have you visited Scotland?
Yes. So how many? Now, how many or how much? That's what we don't use that with present perfect continuous, but we do with present perfect simple. And again, we're asking questions about your life.
You mean how many and how much we can't use the present perfect continuous, is it?
That's right.
How
We
many, how
can,
much?
because we're talking about a result, and only present perfect simple talks about the result. Yeah. Um, so what do you think number 17 is?
How many books have you read this week?
So we're talking again about the past when it started at the beginning of the week up till now. So how many books have you read this week?
I haven't read any books.
Perfect. And again, this one is a life experience one.
How
Number
long
18.
have you studied English? How long have you
Yes.
studied English?
How long have you studied English?
I have studied. Okay, here we can use an English or just English.
Just English, because English meaning the language. Yeah.
Oh, so we no need to use an English.
No, never use an article with languages.
Oh,
Yeah.
never use
Or
article with
nationality.
languages.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So the nationality and language never use preposition. Okay. How long
Uh,
have you studied English? I have studied English seriously 4 years. Since I think for 4 years. I have
for four
studied
years.
for four
Good.
years. Yes,
What would number 9?
previously I have studied in my school days, but I
Ah,
forgotten. I have forgotten all the studies.
now, if it was in your school days,
Mhm.
that's your school has finished. So
Yes,
previously I studied at school.
previously
We
I
have to
studied.
use, because it's the past simple, because your school days have finished. It's
Finished.
not up till now.
Okay. Previously I studied at school. Yes.
What about number 19?
Number 19. How much food you buy? How much food have you bought?
And the last one?
They go to the USA. Have they gone to the USA?
Yeah, where are they? I can't find them anywhere.
Have they gone
Have they
to
gone to the
USA? Have they gone to
USA?
the USA?
Right. Now,
Mhm.
what would you like to do? Would you like to look at the present perfect continuous now, because we're over halfway through the lesson, or would
Okay.
you like to do some pronunciation? Which one would you want to do?
Yes, we do the present perfect continuous game.
Right, okay. Now let's look at, I don't want that one. Yeah, I want this one. So let's look at the difference, Control C. And I'll put this in here again, and I'll also put this in your notes. Right, so what's the difference? Now, when we're looking at present perfect simple and present perfect continuous, we said that it's often used with since and for to talk about unfinished actions. But usually we use the present perfect continuous with unfinished actions. So usually for how long or unfinished actions up to now, we use the present perfect continuous, not the present perfect simple. Yeah, the present perfect simple is how many, not how long. However, remember we've got stative verbs.
So the how long we can't use present perfect, or
We can, because we have stative verbs. So we have stative verbs like think, for example. We wouldn't, if you use it for opinion,
Stative
you
verbs.
wouldn't say.
I already learned stative verbs. We can't use the continuous tense.
So if you're asking how long,
Yes.
and you're using something with a stative verb,
Okay.
yeah.
So how long
How long
okay, how
has
long
that smelt bad? How long has that smelt bad?
so the
Yeah,
how
we
long we
can't
can't
use
use the
smell.
continuous sentence, is it? Present perfect continuous.
Normally, how long we use present perfect continuous, but sometimes we have to use it with present perfect simple because we can't use the verb in a continuous tense. Yeah.
Yes.
So you've got no choice. Like, no, I have known John for 3 years. You can't say I've been knowing John, for example, which is this one. So stative verbs.
So what is the difference present perfect and present perfect continuous? So you mean the present perfect is finished action, is it? Present perfect
Yes.
continuous is unfinished actions.
Yes. If you look at the present perfect, it's all about the length of time. That's why present perfect continuous is more about how long.
How long?
Yeah. Whereas present perfect simple is how much and how many. You can't talk about how much or how many with present perfect continuous.
So the question can ask, but answer cannot. You can't use. Is it?
Yeah. So you could say, how many times, for example, how many times have you been to Paris? But you can't say how many times have you been going to Paris?
How many times? We can say yes. 5 times I've gone.
I've been there 5 times.
I've
Yeah.
been, but continuous we can't use for continuous tense. Is it?
No,
Because
that's right.
continuous tense is still continue. Still
Yes.
yes.
So I could say, how long have you been working in Singapore?
How long have you been working?
Because the present perfect continuous, we make it up from,
How
again,
long have you been working in Singapore?
if have or has, this is the one that always uses been, and then verb plus ing. So we make present perfect continuous, we always make it with been and the verb plus ing. Yeah. So how long? So your answer might be, I have been working here for, I don't know how many years. Yeah.
How long? Yes, I have been working here for 23 years.
Right. Okay. The other thing to remember is present, this was number 3, and I usually teach this. The present perfect continuous focuses usually on the action. Have you been exercising this week? It's an action. Have you been smoking? It's an action. But the present perfect simple usually focuses on something you finished.
Finished action.
Have you finished the report? I
I
have
have
read the
been
book
reading.
you recommended. Yeah. So I've been reading means it's not finished. I've read the book means it's finished. Yeah.
Have you read the book? She finished her work already.
Okay. Also, present perfect continuous is more about being temporary, any continuous tenses. So usually I've studied at home, but I've been studying in the library. Yeah.
She's
So I could
been
say,
running a lot recently.
I have been drinking coffee
Usually,
outside
I've been studying.
recently. Yeah. And this is also to indicate that it's temporary or not usual.
This is correct. Usually I study at home, but I've been studying in the library for the last week. Last week means completed, is it?
For the last week up till now.
Oh, until now. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I've been teaching, so I could say I've been teaching for the last week. This is my last day before I have a break. Yeah.
Okay. For the
Right.
last week, so here for the last week is unfinished action. Is it? Still not.
Yeah. If
Still
we
continuing.
talk about the last week, the last year, etc., it means up to now again. Up to now is when we use present perfect tenses, either simple or continuous. We're always talking about
So
up
I
till
think
now.
continuous, instead of continuous tense, we still can use the present perfect also. Is it? All the continuous tense, we still can use the present
You
perfect.
see, unless it's I'm just thinking, unless it's sort of an action. So if it's, usually we can just use the present perfect simple, but if it's an action like I have been running, so now I'm tired. Yeah. Yeah. Up to now, I've been running. We're talking about the action. The action is much more common using the present perfect continuous. How long is much more common using the present perfect continuous. Yeah. If I look at the present perfect continuous questions that I've got here, again, I'm going to click on this. And I'm just going to put this in your notes. So the present perfect continuous questions, yeah, let's put it here. You make them with have, subject, been, verb, plus ing. So the subject goes after have and before been. Obviously, the question word goes before that. How would we make the question for this one?
She ran much recently. She has been running much recently. Has she been running much recently?
Yeah, that's right. Because you're talking about the action again. Yeah.
Has she
What
been
about
running recently? Okay, it ran. Has it been raining?
Yeah. Oh, look, it's wet.
It's been raining.
Has it been raining? Because raining is more of a continuous action, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Has it been
It doesn't
raining?
just, yeah. What about number 3?
Has he been working today?
Yeah. Up till now, this is an action. Have you been working today?
No, I have not been working today.
And it sounds much better, doesn't it? Because this is talking about an action again. What about number 4?
Number 4, I talk a lot. I talk a lot. Have I been talking a lot?
Yeah.
Have I been talking a lot?
Just normal.
Have I
Oh,
been
number
talking a lot?
5. Number
Number
5 is what
5,
happened.
have we been eating too much?
Yeah.
Have you been
Have
eating
you
too much?
have you been eating too much?
Normally, I haven't been eating too much. Once I drink alcohol, maybe I drink. I eat a lot.
Okay. I've been eating too much. I'm on a diet now.
Yes, yes.
Oh, sorry. Have they been living
Have
for
they
a
been
long.
living for a long time? Have they been living for a long time?
Now here, you're asking about the length of time. Normally, if we're asking about the length of time, yeah, we would like how long.
So what is the signal words for continuous tense, present perfect continuous tense? Some signal words is there, right? For last year,
Yeah,
just now you say last year and long time, is it?
how long?
How long?
Yeah,
Oh, how long?
and and usually there aren't any really real signal words like there are like yet, already, and just for present perfect simple. It's more to do with if it's
I think
something that
the
is.
since, for and since only the present perfect or any other tense can use.
No, you can also use for and
Continuous
since with
tense.
past. Yeah. So for and since you can use with present perfect continuous and simple, but you can also use for and since with past simple. I lived in Britain for 40 years. I had lived there since I was born. So that's past perfect. So you can use past tenses with them too. Yeah. Again, anything that is for a long time, that is quite often present perfect for continuous because you're talking about the length of time. So have they been living for a long time? What about number 8? Let's just jump to number 8, for
Number
example.
8. You study English for a long time. Have you been studying English for a long time?
So what would your answer be?
Have you been studying English for a long time? Yes, I have been studying English for a long time.
Yeah, that's right. When what you mentioned, how have you been? How have you been?
How have you
That
been?
that is asked. How are you? Yeah. So
Same
have you
meaning, is it?
been?
How have you
Yeah.
been? So,
But
which
you
per
could also.
we
You could
okay?
also.
This one we every day meet the people. We can ask how have you been, or seldom we
Yeah,
meet
yeah,
the
yeah.
people.
You could. No. You can ask them. Have you been?
How
Usually,
you been?
if
So
you only
this
saw
one
them
can
5 minutes.
contraction. How have you been? Can do the contraction.
How have you been? Yeah.
How we been? How you been?
Have.
How?
Yeah, but you could also ask them. It is if you've seen them yesterday, you probably wouldn't say that, but you can as like slang. But you can also use the present perfect continuous to ask basically the same question. How have you been doing?
How have you been doing?
Means the same thing. So
Same meaning.
because
How
this is
have you been
slang,
doing?
because both of these are slang,
How have you
you
been doing?
you
Slang.
can say both of them. I was just thinking of the question you asked me at the beginning. So you can do it in both ways. Yeah.
So now the people when they talk, they say gona, gota. This all we need to use or informal, right? This all informal speech or
This is informal. If you want to sound normal,
mm,
yes, you would use them. If you want to make sure you're being very clear, then maybe you might not want to. If you're giving a presentation,
yes.
then it's okay not to, because it's obvious you're trying to be very clear. If you're meeting people afterwards, like in everyday life, and you don't use contractions, it would sound strange. So if you're talking to friends, yeah, you should do.
Oh, only the friends only we can talk this way, but officially we can't do. I gonna be. I gotta go.
You could do, I mean, if you listen to TED Talks, you
Yes.
will hear the presenters, because they're being semi-formal, yes, they will use it. But if you don't want to, if your style of presenting is not to use the contractions, to be very clear, that is also okay. Some people use contractions when they're presenting to sound deliberately more informal and more friendly, so that people want to listen to them because they sound more friendly. Does that make sense?
So you mean the TEDx and some, okay, if example, if I am going to speak somewhere, maybe I am the public speaker. So what kind of language I need to use? I can use contraction, and the people nowadays they talk as I gonna, gota. This all need to use, or
Yeah. I mean, let me just. I've got something queued up for someone else, but let me share the screen again because I'm going to share the sound, and I will just show you a TED talk that I've already got. I've got this set up for someone else. Now this is an American, but if I play it and you just start listening, you'll hear.
Picture this. It's Monday morning, you're at the office, you're settling in for the day of work, and this guy that you sort of recognize from down the hall walks right into your cubicle, and he steals your chair.
Right, so he's using a lot of contractions. He's talking quite friendly and casually because that's his style. But he's a very famous business presenter that talks about meetings and bad meetings. Yeah, but he's being very formal, and people like that. But he's also very funny. Other people might be presenting like, oh, I don't know. Let me share something. Richard Dawkins. Ugh, a load of rubbish coming up. Richard Dawkins, for example. Richard Dawkins exploding at bullshit in the Bible. Okay. Let's see.
Foreign and swooped in from Israel and New York, bearing presents.
If you hear how these guys talk, they don't use contractions in the same way.
What should we eat? We should eat what you don't eat. I don't talk about eating. It's like talking about going to the lavatory. You can't possibly do that. So I was filled with the embarrassment of the part of me that wanted to be totally English and say, you know.
I'm trying to get.
So you mean both can, contraction also can, and the formal speech also can?
Yes, exactly. The God
But
Delusion.
the official meetings, we need to use the formal.
Official meetings, yes, you would. I just wanted to try and give you something that was a little different, but yeah, I can't find Richard Dawkins presenting something, but he doesn't use contractions, yeah. But the other guy, like the American guy I just showed you, he does. It depends on your own style of presenting and what you're presenting. I mean, what kind of things would you like to present?
I prepare myself first. I'm not ready yet.
Right. Okay. So you're not quite sure yet.
Yes. I don't have any idea. But anyway, I want to become fluent speaker. I heard one quote from Les Brown.
Yes.
It is better to be prepared it is better to be prepared and for an opportunity and not have one, if then have an opportunity and not to be prepared.
Yeah.
So that's
true. Well, think about what you want to do. Do you want to use humor? If English isn't your native language, sometimes it can be difficult to use humor. But if you're being humorous, you might want to use very casual language and get people listening to you more like a friend. If you're presenting something scientific or practical or something someone wants to do, like yoga, for example, you want to be very clear. So maybe you don't, it really just depends. Does that help?
Yes. If we want to make humor, then we can use the informal speech.
Yeah, or if you want to be more friendly and casual, and yeah, exactly. It depends what you're doing. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it there. We can do some pronunciation next time.
Okay.
Have a look at that website. You've got the links in the
Okay.
There are lots of exercises on the
Mhm.
perfect tenses there. So just have a look around that site and try some more of the other exercises.
Okay.
You've got a couple of weeks there. It will be, I know you're very busy, so it's
Yes,
easier
yes.
for that to fit into your day. Do a couple of exercises online and it's easier.
Yes.
I'll see you in 2 weeks' time, and we can have a
Okay.
look at some more things with questions if you want, like question tags, direct questions, indirect, which includes would you mind, could you possibly. We can have a look at
Yes,
those
yes,
as
yes,
well,
yes, yes. For
and
the
some
yes, yes, the
pronunciation.
polite way, how to talk the polite way.
Yeah, I've put that on
Yes,
there.
yes.
So
And one day we do the polite dialogues, and another day we do the short form, the gona, gota. This all you have any lesson?
yeah, okay, we can do
Gonna
that.
be, gota be.
So also polite versus pronunciation of contractions. I'll put. I know what you mean.
Yes, yes,
Of contractions. I'll look at some of those.
yes,
No
yes, yes.
problems. I'll
No
do that.
problem. Yes.
Right, I'm going to go and have my
Okay.
tea.
Thank you.
I will see you in 2 weeks' time.
Okay.
And hopefully I'll have a bit of a suntan because I want to be outside all the while. And we'll have a chat about more about these formal and informal questions and
Okay.
how to be polite. Okay.
Okay. Bye. Take care.
Bye for now. Have a good
Bye.
week.
Very
Bye.
good.
Bye.